one. I think we're live. We're live, everyone. Yes, we are. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful September 27th, 2024. Hope everyone's having a phenomenal day, night, afternoon, midnight, wherever you're in the world. I'm starting to have a great day myself. And of course, we are joined by Real Texan Politics. Hello there.
Hello.
And we will have Tyrone joining the stream shortly. I believe he's busy at this moment. And yeah, there's a lot of breaking news today. We were planning on streaming earlier, but I decided, you know what, I had a gut feeling that we were going to breaking news. And well, we kind of did.
Yeah, we got a lot of it, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of news going on in the world, but first...
We'll go in order after the intro.
Yep. You know what? I'm going to say, everyone, if you enjoy these type of streams, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts, the description down below, and of course, to join the channel today. Again, folks, all support's greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or just want to support the channel even further, the best way is to send super chats via the chat. Again, I'll read through as much of chat as possible. But usually super chat's best way to get your questions answered. And already we got a couple super chats. Sophia Lotkiss for 2. We need to put our resources into Pennsylvania and Wisconsin now. I agree. Reasonable December for 2. A hot take. Hovey and McCormick flip their seats. I think it's a good chance. Alex Maddox for 2. L's in the chat for the loss of Maggie Smith. Yeah, wasn't that the Harry Potter actor? Right?
Yeah, I was going to say that first. Maggie F's in chat for Maggie Smith. Fantastic actress. She passed away earlier today or last night. 89 years old.
Wasn't she?
89, yeah. Famous for Professor McGonagall and Harry Potter. She also was in Downton Abbey, and she has been a pretty. I mean, she's been in theater and film for many decades. So.
All right, American Nerd for 5. Hot take. Hovey, Rogers, McCormick, and Brown will win the races while Lake and Robinson lose their races. I think it's kind of reasonable right now to say something like that, though I still have questions about Brown and even Rogers, but I mean, those are some reasonable takes. Kyle Beckman for 20. Hey, Rap, do you think you could speak on how tight the polls are with Kamala up around 49 in many polls in swing states, and whether there still could be some polling misses? Thanks. So, yeah, before we get into the breaking news that happened today, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to go over. The current state of the race. I made a video on the Sun Belt. At this point in time, I'm convinced that Arizona and Georgia, they're just, how do I say this nicely for Democrats? They're gone! Like, Harris could still win them, obviously, but these numbers are just bad. There's no
I was having feelings about Georgia being more likely to go to Harris than Michigan. I flip that.
I mean, this is
bad. No, that's not the case anymore. I mean, Michigan might still go to Trump. Hillary may even still vote to the right of Georgia for all I know. I don't know, but it's not looking great for Georgia's. It's not looking good for Harris right now.
Yeah, and these numbers are just, look at this. Suffolk USA Today, Trump +6 in Arizona. And of course, they've got to go up by 6, but either way, this is a disaster. Like, this is a absolute disaster for Democrats in Arizona and Georgia now. So, at this point in time, their pathway is, in fact, North Carolina. That's their Hail Mary. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but...
We also got some CNN polling.
Ignore it. That's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, the Nebraska second stuff. They have Bacon losing, and they have Harris up by 11 in Nebraska second district. And she's going to win. She's going to win Nebraska second district. Bacon might lose it too, but not by like that much.
All right, the real JW for 2. Trump wins Arizona, but we lose the Senate. How? Well, because Kerry Lake's a shit candidate.
Let's see.
General Hydra for 5. Had you seen that CNN interview kid in New Jersey and Texas and the difference between them and their what? Them? Well, yeah, I saw the CNN interview. They're talking to like kids, and you could tell there's like a big difference between people with liberal parents and conservative ones. There's a big difference, but
yeah. So we did get some other news, foreign news actually. Japan has elected a new prime minister.
Yeah, so Japan's getting a new prime minister. But I honestly would say that's like small potatoes what's really going on in the foreign policy front. So
yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Well, let me kind of go down the list here that I have. Okay, so Trump met Zelensky. That's big news.
Yep.
What else is
We have to
there?
talk what's happening in Iraq and the Middle East, because this is a mess. So for those that don't know, an hour ago, U.S. forces in Iraq have reportedly been put on high alert in Iraq. Which, by the way, I thought Harris said that we had no troops in combat zones. Remember that? Oh, there was no one in Iraq. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, there's no fighting going on. Trump called them losers and suckers.
Yeah. But now it comes out, oh yeah, we have forces in Iraq that have been put on high alert. Because apparently...
Those are Blump's troops.
Those are blumps. Oh my gosh. Cherokee Bear for 2. Rick Wilson is trailer trash. I agree. But yeah, for those that don't know what's going on in the Middle East, well, I think everyone knows at this point, but apparently Israel's going to invade another country. Because according to an Israeli official, the country's going to war.
Yeah, so I am flat out expecting a ground invasion of Lebanon, probably within the next maybe week or two, or more than that. I don't know. But sometime in October, I think we're getting a ground invasion of Lebanon. But also, pretty soon, in about a week and a half, we have the first anniversary of basically the kickoff of all of
Yeah,
this.
October 7th.
So I'm sensing
I got a
something
gut feeling that Israel's going to do something.
really bad.
Yeah, I think
And I'm thinking we might be getting another invasion, like another Hamas invasion, another
Israeli might retaliate on like the anniversary. I don't know. But like here's
the thing, I think the war's gonna ramp up to
we
probably to its peak.
Yeah, so Lebanon, how did Lebanon get dragged into this? I don't get that still.
Hezbollah.
I guess, yeah, but like
I think it's kind of like the war on terror. Netanyahu, while he was trying to go after Hamas, probably also wanted to turn his attention on to Hezbollah. So in a way, he's kind of pulling a George W. Bush with this, I would guess.
But like, I don't know if this is gonna. I mean, can they really afford it? Well, I think they can afford it, maybe, but like with all the
they can afford it. How much money do they get from NATO?
When I ask this though, like, how many wars can they really deal with right now at a time? Because if they're going to war with Palestine and now Lebanon, what's next? Iraq?
Palestine, Lebanon, Iran, probably. Honestly, I think that might actually be what happens on the October 7th anniversary.
I don't think Iran does anything. They never do anything. They always talk a big game, but they never do shit.
Yeah, so...
America Nerd for 10. Crazy fact about the great and now late Maggie Smith. During the film of the last 2 Harry Potter movies, she was battling breast cancer but went on to finish filming anyways. What a legend. Yeah, she was a good actor. Or actress, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're... This is the October surprise, I think. There's gonna be like a disaster in the Middle East. Yet again.
I could see, I mean, I don't know if I want to go this far, but I could see something involving a certain N-word, as Trump calls it. You know, not the
I don't know if we're going that far, but hold on, yeah. Wait. Speaking of the we got
what?
What?
Did the invasion just happen?
Apparently, an official from Russia is saying that they expect a full-blown war in the Middle East. Oof.
Well, I mean, that's not exactly.
Yeah, but apparently it's like a full-on regional war. They're saying, not just 2 countries.
So probably Israel, Lebanon, Palestine, Iran, maybe Iraq.
Which that's what they're saying. Supposedly.
Turkey as well probably will get involved.
God, if that's a full-blown regional war, oh my God! And they'll have.
By the way, if Turkey gets involved, they're part of NATO. So what?
Yeah, like how would that work? Since Turkey's part of NATO, they're not getting attacked directly. So would NATO just say "F you"?
You would think they would.
I don't know. What do you do in that situation? Just tell them to go F themselves?
Oh, yeah, Yemen as well. Yemen's definitely getting involved.
American Nerd for 2. We're actually getting into World War III now. We are getting very close to it. I still think we avoided, but this is getting pretty bad. I
mean, I honestly believe we're already in it. We're just kind of in the early stages of it.
I think we're in a cold, we are the human missile crisis at this point. We're at that point of tension. We are one disaster away from full-blown war. I don't want that to happen, but it's getting to a point now where what would set it off completely though? Taiwan getting invaded or what?
I mean, some would probably say Russia invading Ukraine was kind of the spark, and then
because I don't know. Because before that war, no one gave a shit about Ukraine. I'm being honest. But
well, I mean, before that, I think people, well, probably Crimea, and then that was it.
General Hydra for 2. Will you stream the vice president debate on Tuesday? Yes, we will. Let's see. Can they just get the election over with already, please? Yeah. We need to pray that nothing happens the next like 2 months. Which, by the way, I find it ironic that Trump is meeting with all the foreign leaders. What does that tell you, by the way? They refuse to meet with Harris, but they're meeting with Trump. You had Zelensky today. You had did he meet with the UK Prime Minister?
I
Starmer?
think he's going to meet with Starmer at some point. I don't know if he already has.
But like, I find it funny that they're not talking to her. They're talking to Trump, who's not even the president.
I mean, I think Zelensky already talked to Harris at one point.
Yeah, I think so too. But like, I'm getting this gut feeling that these world leaders kind of understand that Trump's not going to win. They're like, yeah, we should deal with this now. Talk to him now. See what we get out of it.
Yeah, so.
Will America even have an election? Yes. Listen, unless, like, something has to go absolutely haywire the next 2 months, which I guess it's possible, but highly doubt it. And at that point, that did occur. I don't know. Let's see. I'm from Poland and I work in the military, and it isn't interesting in Europe. Most of the European countries have war inside because, well, yeah, they have immigration crisis. Object Clay's cater for 5. If regional war starts, it'd be like the Israeli Arab War in 1948 in terms of scale and people involved. Well, no, I think it's a little bit different because tensions are like, well, tensions were high then, but like, we're at a point now where you're dealing with a bunch of countries with nukes. So, I mean, I don't know. Siratanv has been a member for 15 months. American Nerd for 3. It's time to build shelters in your backyard. Don't go that far. Don't go that far.
I mean, I would probably be worried if Pakistan got involved because I know
Pakistan got involved. Yeah,
Pakistan has nukes. Iran claims they have them. I don't know.
They got some. They may not be the best, but they got some. I think.
I think India has nukes as well.
I'm guessing a couple other countries have some that we don't know about.
Well, Israel has nukes.
Well, yeah, that's not even a secret at this point. They have it stashed somewhere. Let's see. Trump will prevent World War III. Yeah, that's the thing with Trump. He needs to win because this is getting bad. Can you imagine Harris being the president during this chaos? Oh, God.
I mean, if you have Adam Kinzinger as our foreign policy advisor.
Oh, that'd be worse than John Bolton somehow.
Which, by the way, if she wants a Republican in her cabinet, it's probably going to be Adam Kinzinger.
It's going to be Kinzinger.
Yeah, it's going to be Kinzinger because he's the foreign policy guy.
Yeah, so, and that's what I'm worried about because the thing with Trump's foreign policy is it worked because you didn't know what you were going to get out of it. He was either going to bomb you or he was going to, like, be chill with you. You didn't know. With Harris, it's like, you know he wants to bomb everything. So it's like, oh, great, that's a good sign. All right, look at how bad the UK has gotten to. Well, I mean, isn't Star Wars popularity, like, below, like, 20% or something?
Yeah, I think it's actually worse.
God. But all right. Anyway, so there's chaos in the Middle East like usual. I'm hoping nothing occurs from this, but this could get ugly. This could get ugly real quick. Or Cheney. I think it's Kinzinger. He's been more vocal than Cheney.
Kinzinger actually served in the military, and I think Harris, I guess based off principle, would want someone who actually served in the military to serve in, a foreign policy role.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's either Cheney or Kinzinger, or maybe that clown from Alabama. You know, the sweeter guy?
I doubt. I mean,
no, just like some shitty, like low-tier position.
I mean, he could work in the White House, but I don't think he would have a foreign policy role. Kinzinger served in the military, so that's why I say he would.
We got a new poll out of Fox. Pennsylvania, North Carolina. Trump is tied in Pennsylvania, up in North Carolina. From Fox News.
Yep.
Now, for those that don't know, Fox News, just because it's a quote-unquote conservative network, it doesn't mean these polls are right-leaning. Didn't they claim that Trump was down in Ohio back in 2020? I think they did.
Yeah, so probably.
These same polls, they're not right-leaning. And the fact is, they have Trump tied in Pennsylvania, which, by the way, I've noticed a very weird trend the past 2 weeks or so. is it just me or outside of Bloomberg, which we'll get to in a minute, has every single poll in all these swing states been ties?
I think so.
Are these pollsters just like they're saying it's tied because they don't want to like be wrong, so they just say, well, it's a tied race, we don't know? Is that what they're trying to do?
I
Because
guess
like
so.
they were wrong in 2016, they sucked in 2020. If they just say it's a tied race, well, they could just hedge their bets. And they can just say,
Hey,
well, we're
Tyrone,
right no
here.
matter what.
Damn, I said gentlemen and nobody fucking heard me. It's
Oh,
over.
hey, Tyrone.
Ah, shit. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, he was busy talking. I knew you were there, but I
I
didn't
just
want to
got
interrupt
out
you.
of the shower, so.
Nice.
All right, Sophia Latkins for 2. I actually think if she wins, the world is over. It's getting to that point now. But yeah, so Tyrone, we're talking about the Fox News poll. Just like virtually every other poll this past month, every poll's been a tied race. Worthless polling.
Yep. I mean, hey man, a tie in the popular vote means a Trump victory.
Well, no,
so.
it's Pennsylvania and stuff.
Oh.
Now, and I was talking to, like, are they just hedging their bets and just saying, well, we're going to be right no matter what, if we just say it's tied? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
Just gaslighting.
Yeah, no, it's just like because if Trump wins, it's like, well, we were right about it this time. What?
I don't think that they understand if they show everything is tied. That's just going to energize Republican voters further.
Well, the some pollsters think they just want to be right right in quotation, so they're just saying it's tied race. So they can be right no matter what. Rifia for 5. Hey, Rap, I live in Dane County here. Quite a bit of Trump and Huffy signs down here on a 6-to-4 ratio scale to hair/wall signs. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Wisconsin, I don't. The fact is, it's a tied race polling wise in Wisconsin. I don't think she's gonna win the state. She could, but I have a gut feeling about it. All right.
I really doubt she wins Wisconsin.
I just don't think she can. I mean, well, she can obviously, but realistically, I just don't see how, because who does she appeal to in Wisconsin?
Literally the only swing states of the 6 swing states, literally the only states I could see her realistically winning are Nevada and Michigan.
I think so. That's
about it for me too. I mean, like, well, no, like those are states I think are like 50-50 or something. But like the other states, like,
oh, I mean, I don't think she's winning those states. I've made it very clear before. I think Trump's margin is going to be 2016 plus Nevada and Virginia. Maybe New Hampshire.
If Virginia actually flips, I mean, that's some point.
It's arguably a toss. Well, I wouldn't say toss. I want to go toss.
No, I'm sorry. Look, all the congressional districts in Virginia reporting the highest turnout, like nearly triple over 2020 and 2022. They're all fucking red districts, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I think Virginia is an actual toss-up at this point, if not slightly for Trump.
I would argue it's a battleground, but
that's why I said toss-up.
Well, no, like, when I say battleground, that means, like, you know, North Carolina is considered a battleground, but obviously it's leans to Trump, but
I don't think it leans to Harris. I don't think Virginia leans to Harris. I think it's an actual toss-up at this point.
We just got to see. Ello has been a member for 8 months. Chris Mann for 5. Can we pull up the 270 to win real quick? Assuming we pull Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, Nevada. Well, Dems pull Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, or Michigan. Any real chance? I got to see your map, man. Yeah, so I'll pull that up. You guys say something about the current state of the race.
I just got out of the shower. I feel extremely refreshed. Take daily showers, guys. Anyway, I think the state I've been like I said, I leave for basic in 10 days, so I'm not too following the race too much because, you know, I'm trying to focus on other shit. But the one state I've been paying a lot of attention to is Virginia. We see nothing but really good reinforcement positive reinforcement after positive reinforcement about how, I mean, like, look, if Youngkin thinks that we can win the state, we can win the state. That man's got like an iron fucking grip over everything there.
Yeah, so I got the map pulled up now. So, okay, let's...
Oh, yeah, by the way, submitted my mail-in ballot for Trump today.
Mark thing. Oops.
Nice.
All right, so let's look at the map real quick. So, if Trump, like, I believe Trump's up in Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina. I think that's just a foregone conclusion.
He is.
You know,
there's literally not a single poll out there. Period.
Except Bloomberg, which we'll get to Bloomberg in a second. Unbelievable.
Well, no, Georgia.
Well, yeah.
what does Georgia have Bloomberg, or what does Bloomberg have Georgia at?
I forgot, but Fox News dropped that stinker of Harris plus
Let
3.
me let me look. Let me go look.
LO has for 2. Even Prime Minister Starmer doesn't want Harris held as RDR.
Bloomberg had Georgia as a tie.
Really a tie? I can defend that a little bit, but their other polls suck.
Look, they're like the worst case for Arizona and Georgia with polls is literally a tie. I've said this for about 2 years now. Trump's not losing Arizona. He's not losing Georgia. Those states were flips that are only going to happen once. Those states are too red for Democrats to ever truly sustain themselves in at a presidential level.
All right, so if we have this map here, at this point, Trump just has to flip one of the big states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, or even Virginia.
And I think he's the favorite. I think he's the favorite in Wisconsin of all 3 of those.
No, I think Pennsylvania. I think is the best situation.
Pennsylvania,
I believe.
and Pennsylvania are more likely than not going for Trump. It really is just Nevada and Michigan I wonder about.
Yeah, so really this election, it does, I mean, if we're the Harris campaign, God help us all, they're banking on this type of map where they have to win North Carolina. That's their strategy. Hold on, yeah, let me pull this up. Yeah, if they hold on to Virginia and they lose Pennsylvania, they're a Hail Mary's North Carolina. That's what they're banking on. If they lose North Carolina, they're done. That's what their campaign strategy is. Which I don't get why you would bank on North Carolina. That's dumb, but...
By the way,
I mean, the people running her campaign are dumb. So,
I mean,
by the way, on this current day on the RCP average, Trump is doing the best he's ever done in North Carolina of the free bases.
Yeah, but
he's leading it by
1.2.
Yeah, he's leading it by 1.2 right now. He was leading by 0.3 in 2016, and Biden was leading it by 0.8 in 2020 on this day.
Let's see. American Nerd for 5. Rap, why is Trump having meetings with Zelensky and Starmer? Aren't they the members of the globalist league who want to destroy the West? Well, no. Yeah, it's called diplomacy. So, the voices for 5. All polls that show results I like are real, and polls that don't show the results I like are fake. That's real. But, I mean, when you got Bloomberg showing Harris plus 3, when everyone else is like Trump plus 3, just get out of here. Just stop.
Here, Rap. I'm gonna show you why they're. I'm gonna show you right here why they're banking on North Carolina. This is the. That's the wrong server. This is literally the only path forward for them. It's real.
Gosh. Yeah, they have to win North Carolina. They have to.
I'm surprised you haven't noticed the elephant in the room there.
I see the Texas thing.
Blegses.
Yeah, but no, like, seriously, they have to, if they lose North Carolina, they're done. That's, why would you, I don't get why you would throw your entire strategy at North Carolina. That makes no sense to me. BB for 2, Texas and Florida margin prediction, Senate and POTUS. Trump wins Texas by like 6 to 8. Florida.
Trump wins Texas by 11. Next.
Okay. Senate, I think Cruz plus 4 or 5. Rick Scott probably 4 or 5.
Cruz wins by 8. Rick Scott wins by 8. Next.
Okay, that was easy. All right. But yeah, if you're Harris though, like let's say you lose North Carolina, what's your you're screwed at that point. Wouldn't you want to focus on Pennsylvania or Georgia? Wouldn't that make more sense?
No, she wants to focus on states with black populations because she legitimately thinks black people are going to fucking save her campaign.
Even though they're swinging like 20 points towards Trump.
Yeah, so Trump is doing the best with black people that a Republican has ever done since Ronald fucking Reagan.
Better than
and her
the best
entire
since
fucking
Nixon.
strategy.
The best since freaking Nixon. It's unbelievable at all, but no, it's actually a fluke. There's no way that Trump's actually doing that good with them.
Yeah, Kamala's black, so she's gonna do the best of on blacks since Obama. She's gonna outperform Obama because she's
saying is, look, black men ain't gonna go vote for a black woman.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, if you're Harris, I mean, you would think Georgia would have made more sense, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got Queen Stacey there to save the day.
You got Atlanta. You don't really got that North Carolina.
Which, by the way, how is Kamala Harris not banking on Queen Stacey?
I don't know what she's. I don't get that either. Like,
I mean, we're lucky that she's an idiot. We're lucky that Kamala's actually still 100.
You have Doug Emhoff in Texas campaigning with Beto. So,
But yeah, like Harris
Yeah,
campaign, if they
beta
lose
Ochoa.
literally anything, like if Pennsylvania and North Carolina, they're the real like deciders of the election. She has to win both of them, and I think she's down in both of them right now.
by the way, Tyrone, I think you told us that the Whataburger that they went to is one that you've actually been to a lot.
Yeah, no, it's the Whataburger off East Old Torp Street. It's right beside Riverside ACC, which is where I went to college for a couple of years.
Scratch, sniff, vomit for 5. Safest bet is that neither candidate will cross 300. I could see that being a good bet.
The parking at that Whataburger in specific is a bit of a bitch because they don't really have wide parking spots for my big ass truck.
Reasonable
It's
descent
also literally
okay,
right off
Tyron, stop
I-35.
talking about freaking Whataburger. All right, reasonable to sim for 2. As a black man, I'm not voting for a black woman. American Nerd for 10. Newt Gingrich on Mike Johnson. For the last 10 or 12 years, you had a group grow up in the House Republican Party who think that voting no and getting nothing done is victory. Thoughts, Rap? What? What does he mean by that? You talking about the Freedom Caucus?
Probably.
They just vote no on everything? Well, I mean, if a lot of the policy sucks, it makes sense. You don't vote yes on good policy just because Mike Johnson said so. Which, by the way, he screwed us yet again on the CR. Why the hell did he throw that forward? Why? I don't get that, but...
He didn't want to shut down.
Freaking whatever. Let's see. Let's see. At this point, Harris needs suburban white host and... Oh, gosh. And even then, it may not work. Well, the thing with... Again, this whole strategy is just not going to work then. If you're banking on white suburban voters, for starters, that's not enough. Especially if you're collapsed with black voters and white working class voters. It's not enough. But even then, it's like, that's not going to decide the election. It's working class voters that are going to decide the election. So that strategy is garbage. Absolute bullshit. All right. Mecklenburg County and Durham County have a large black population. Well, but focus on Atlanta. That's why I'm just confused. Like, wouldn't Atlanta make more sense to target than Durham?
I think they're banking more on North Carolina just because of Robinson. Like, that's literally it.
Which are they trying to manifest the reverse coattails into reality? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah. That's literally their strategy.
That's their entire plan. They're going to manifest reverse coattails, which before 2020 or 2024, everyone said was non-existent and has never happened, is bullshit. Yet, now they're saying, oh, actually, reverse coattails are everything. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Alright, could this election be over early on election night? Well,
nah.
What do you mean? Like, do you mean, like, okay, we know the winner on election night? Yeah, there's, like, before 11 p.m., maybe. Where it's, like, so bad for Harris that, like, we know she's going to lose Pennsylvania and North Carolina. Which at that point's kind of a wrap, but... For them to be officially called, it would be Obama 2008 levels of bad. Which I guess is possible, but... But as for the, I don't know. I think we'll know by election night, though. It won't be one of those things we don't know for 5 months. Highly doubt that. Now that I said that's going to happen, where it's like, it comes on election
Well,
night.
no, we're going to know who wins Georgia on election night. And if Harris can't win Georgia, I think unless she pulls off a massive upset in the Rust Belt, we'll basically know who wins.
Yeah, at this point, it's really North Carolina. That's it. If we'll know on election night then.
Oh yeah, they're fast. I mean, we'll probably know. I mean, well, actually, Attorney General race. I mean,
whoever wins Georgia, Arizona, and North Carolina wins.
Well, we'll know right away if Trump wins Georgia, North Carolina, he's got it at that point. Because then you got Pennsylvania, which is probably going to go to Trump. Seahawks spreading Nelson for 2. 2016 was called before midnight on the West Coast. No, I thought it was like 3 a.m. Eastern. It was called. So that's like right after midnight. Or I might have been wrong. I don't know. But I thought it was like right after midnight on the West Coast. Was it?
What?
When did they call the 2016 election? Was it 3 a.m.?
I think so.
Yeah, so that's, what, midnight on the West Coast?
Yeah, I think that's when whenever they call Pennsylvania.
Yeah. or no, was it like I always forget because some outlets had Pennsylvania be the state that flipped it for Trump, that won it. Some states had Wisconsin. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I think it just
It was
depended on the outlet.
I think it was Wisconsin.
Fox News, it was Wisconsin. They called Pennsylvania. So, let's see. I live in Pennsylvania. I get flyers from McCormick every day. He's all in. Yeah, McCormick's actually spending money. Is he the first self-funder to spend money on a Senate race?
Yeah, I think so, probably.
People were saying Wisconsin was a state. Yeah, I thought it was Wisconsin. That's when they called it. Like some outlets had it Pennsylvania, but I thought it was Wisconsin. Was actually what the AP called. Pennsylvania won it for Trump. I can't remember. Now I'm gonna go watch that stream again. Or yeah, gotta rewatch election night 2020 or 2016 because I swore it was the other way around. I could be wrong, but it doesn't really matter. Hey Rap, if Trump loses, are you gonna leave YouTube? No. Kyle Beckman for 5. I need only you to get out and vote, so I hear nothing but crying here in California on the day after the election. Well, yeah, I mean, if Trump actually wins, what's gonna be the response? Are we gonna see riots again?
If he wins, yeah, probably. But I feel like most leftists, I don't know if they'll really care. Cause, well, they might. But it's either way, you're getting a Zionist anyway, so.
Well, yeah, to them they are. Seahawks Brennan Nelson for 2. Clinton conceded to Trump around 11:30 West Coast. I thought she called him. That's right.
I think she conceded before he was called the winner.
Yeah. She called him, but she never actually gave a speech. I remember that. That was a big story. Well, like, I still don't get why she didn't just give the damn speech. Unbelievable. You know you got crushed.
She was probably she was probably extremely distraught.
Oh, well, there was rumors that she was like, she threw her phone at the wall or something. It was like pretty bad. Yeah. Hey, Rap, do you think Pennsylvania will be called on election night? That's a tricky one because I think we'll have there's two factors we got to factor in. For starters, there's way less early votes this time around than 2020. So that's one thing. Secondly, if Trump is really doing so much better in these swing states, we're going to know right away. And thirdly, the RNC, which we got to talk about, they are doing a great job in election reform. Did they get a win in North Carolina and Michigan?
Yeah, I think
Election
so.
integrity. Yeah, so I think they got ballot
North
signatures.
Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. Let me go look it up.
Yeah, so North Carolina, they actually purged voter rolls.
Oh, Fox News poll, by the way, has governor for North Carolina.
Oh God, what did they got it as?
Stein plus 16.
I don't believe that. That's pushing it. That might be. Well, I don't know.
All right, so North Carolina, they have ruled that digital student IDs cannot be used as voter ID. And in Michigan, ballots will now only be counted after proof that signatures are verified.
I don't that's a big win. For starters, that should make people chill out a little bit about the what. But
yeah, Emerald Robinson. Well, she's
Robinson's done.
Emerald Robinson is a fucking. She's a Fed, and I'm pretty sure she's. I'm pretty sure she's.
Oh, that Rob. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I thought you were talking about Mark Robinson. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Emerald is like.
Yeah.
She's basically trying to get people not to vote so that Harris can win, and she can basically say, oh, "I told you so. I told you that the elections are always worded."
Yep. Seahawks Brennan Nelson for 5. I read the book on her campaign. She didn't give her concession speech because she hadn't written one, according to them. Well, you're telling me that with how bad the night was getting, that you didn't have anything put together quickly? Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, she basically thought that she had the election in the bag.
Yeah, but I think everyone after I have to go back and watch it again, but I'm pretty sure when Florida went to Trump, that's when people realized, oh, okay, there might be something going on here. And
she was probably still thinking, oh yeah, we can win. We don't need Florida. We can win Wisconsin, Michigan.
You see the margins in Iowa and Ohio are just like Trump plus 10. And then they're like, okay, it's over. Let's see.
Her speechwriter was probably just as distraught as Hillary.
Yeah, well, I don't know. RNC has to have lawyers and poll watchers ready to watch. Well, that's the thing, though. Republicans ever since 2022, they've gotten their act together. Even 2021, Virginia, they're the first ones to figure it out. Like election integrity. But now every state's got it. So we should.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn Youngkin.
What?
Thank you, Glenn Youngkin.
Yeah, Glenn Youngkin created the perfect model. Now every state follows it. Jose, for 5. We need 54 Senate seats for an effective Senate because Rhino, Ohio governor will appoint Vance's replacement. Well, that's. I have a gut feeling that they made a deal with the wine.
Ooh, I was just actually thinking. I'm a little nervous, actually. If Trump loses Virginia, which I still think he will, Youngkin's probably going to get the blame.
Nah, I don't think so. It's not like with Georgia where it's like it's a must win. It's just one of those states like, yeah, it'd be very nice to win, but you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like Colorado for Romney in 2010. It's not a must win, but it would be really nice.
Well, back then, I think he needed Colorado, I thought.
I don't know if Trump would completely call out Youngkin or like call him a rival. I mean, some of the base probably would, but I don't think they would.
Yeah, no,
I think as long as Trump wins the election, they probably wouldn't care.
Let's see. I think around 11 p.m. Eastern that night it was getting obvious. So yeah, I think it was 11 p.m. That's when people started to think, oh, okay, Trump's got this, or he's the front runner. Let's see. Can you just change Connecticut to red? No.
No.
Will Matt Dillon be that bad?
Speaking of states that are probably unrealistic to flip.
What?
Can we talk about Nebraska?
Oh, can we stop? Why are we talking about Nebraska? I'm getting so sick of this.
We'll probably need to talk about it again during the Senate prediction.
This is unfreaking believable. Here's what's going to happen. This happens every year. Let's go back. 2016. I think which Senate seat the Democrats bank on flipping? I think it was Missouri. But 2018, they were saying they were going to hold on to Indiana and North Dakota. They got crushed. 2020, remember Montana? Kansas, remember that? Trump was going to...
Iowa.
Yeah, Roger Marshall's going to lose Kansas. He won in a landslide. Every year they find 1 or 2 Senate seats that they have no chance at flipping, and they delude themselves into thinking, you know what, we're going to flip the Nebraska Senate race. These people are...
Okay, I think I'm actually getting insider information from somebody here.
What?
Hey, hold up.
Boston Nationalist is currently messaging me about this.
So, guys, we just got official voter registration changes from November 2020 to July 2024.
For what?
Just national voter registration changes. I just did. Independents
Holy shit.
Yeah, Republicans have grown 400,000, but Democrats have shrunk nearly 3.6 million.
3.5 million. They have only gained in California, but only like slightly. And Republicans got double that amount.
Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Look at Arizona. Holy crap. Look at Nevada. Look at this. Nevada, Democrats have lost 80,000 voters. Republicans have lost 22,000. Holy smokes.
Look at Massachusetts.
Massachusetts
is insane. They've lost 200,000.
Yeah, we're not putting much money on that, though.
No, I just think that's hilarious. Look at Louisiana, though.
Yeah, but again, like, Louisiana's kind of obvious because they have the Blue Dog Dems. Spend Sports Network for 2. What are you gonna do if Trump loses? We'll just see. Scratch, sniff, vomit for 10. Republicans can't get out of their own way with all these principled nonsense they use to sabotage each other. If they were as politically savvy as in lockstep as Democrats, 2024 would be a cakewalk. Well, yeah. Now people are... I can't believe this is real, but... Now you got the DeSimps attacking RFK for supporting Trump, and not just... And take us for what reason?
Because he supports Trump.
For food freedom.
Oh my God, New Jersey. I just looked at New Jersey.
I know. They called him a socialist because of the food stuff.
Which is just...
Crap, did you look at the number for New Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey. I think New Jersey's going to shift right. This kind of confirms it. And look at New York. Jesus.
Goodness, those Democrat numbers. Pennsylvania, wow.
God, these numbers are bad for them. Holy shit.
Florida, holy shit.
They're hemorrhaging. They're fucking hemorrhaging harder than fucking John McCain. Holy shit.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
These are bad.
Anyways,
Yeah, but Colorado is just you got Colorado just being cooked.
yeah, those independent numbers. All right.
But yeah, so they're
All right.
attacking RFK for saying we need to have food freedom. It's like, what? That's what you're attacking him for?
Well, food freedom means that people should be allowed to use whatever ingredients they want.
These people are dumb.
If you don't like them, then don't buy them.
These people are when it's in
Buy
literally
this
every
alternative. Buy this alternative product that has the same ingredients or
it's the same.
probably even
That's
worse.
what bring up. It's the same stuff. It's just a different packaging and shit. It's the same stuff. That's the
Oh,
whole point.
It's Michelle Obama
Yeah, and they
2.0.
compared to Michelle Obama. It's like, just stop. Just
And
stop.
we're voting for Kamala Harris, who's probably going to do the exact same thing,
It'd be
or at
worse.
least in some. Yeah,
No,
worse.
she would
Yeah.
target like Amish farmers in Pennsylvania, like they are right now with Shapiro.
So you probably want like factory made vegan meats, basically.
Anyways,
Yeah. I do have some insider information from Boston Nationalist on Nebraska and Michigan.
okay, what's going on?
Okay, so for Nebraska, he's sending something from someone on Deb Fisher's campaign. This person says, "We might be screwed. Deb is going to need to attack and stop hiding, or we're going to lose."
I don't believe that.
They might be. I mean, maybe the staff is falling for polls. I mean, I do think it might be closer, but I don't know if it's not like danger of flipping. I would say it's likely Republican, but
Well, because the
like
problem for
margin.
Osborne, he needs to win like a bunch of Trump voters. And I just don't
But
think he can win some.
I think it's doable in some places, but not
Yeah,
across the board.
Nebraska's just pushing it.
Like Nebraska's second, he'll probably win it by double digits, while Harris wins it by like 5 or
remember,
6.
I exposed this on stream yesterday. All the polls in Nebraska, they're all sponsored by Osborne. They're just different pollsters. And just like they're trying to make it look like all the polls have a consensus. No, it's the same it's the same campaign sponsoring them. So it's like, of course, it's gonna look terrible for Fisher. But yeah, she's running a bad campaign.
Okay, never mind. I think Boston Nationals is saying it's someone from Bacon's campaign, but I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
And for Michigan, an intern did 1,000 calls to low propensity Trump voters and couldn't get a single one to say they would be voting for Rogers.
Well, again, just because they're not, that doesn't mean they're not going to.
One lady reportedly said, "I don't give a f who Trump endorsed," when questioned on whether she was going to vote for Slotkin and Trump. So it sounds like that woman's probably voting for Slotkin and Trump.
Maybe. Hey Rob, I honestly believe you should make a video on how Republicans keep the House and then doing that they say Democrats will usually win the House. Listen, if Trump wins the presidency, he wins the House. Don't let friggin' other groups say otherwise. That's what's gonna happen. The idea that Trump wins the presidency but loses the House, I just don't see that happening. I really don't.
I thought you meant the White House, and I was like, the only way that's gonna happen is if Democrats manage to like whip out the alternative electors bullshit. But yeah, no, Trump, guys, there is literally no world where we lose the House, the Senate, and the White House all at once.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, we have the Senate locked down. Now, that doesn't mean we got good Republicans in the Senate, but it's better than Democrats, I guess. Yay. Deal with John Curtis for 6 years. God damn it. Unbelievable.
And Cornyn is our leader.
Wait, Cornyn? Wait, what?
Oh yeah, I think Cornyn. Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up, John?
Cornyn's basically the front runner to be leader.
What's
Hold
up,
on.
John?
Hold on. Oh yeah, chat. We have a new person to stream.
So everybody, this is my friend John. Everyone say hi to him.
Welcome
We
to
now
the
have an
Hello,
Orthodox
hello.
Christian on the stream,
Welcome
so
to the
people
stream.
can
Oh my.
stop complaining.
Orthodox Christian.
Yeah, this is the man who's going to be replacing me on streams going forth. So y'all get to know him. Free John.
Well, welcome to the stream, John. Hello there.
Hey, it's nice to meet you guys. But I wanted to come in real quick. I was a little preoccupied, but I heard you guys talking about Virginia, and I wanted to give a little bit of Christian Heyens' insight onto the current situation. He's one of the guys building a model for the low and high propensity voters in Virginia. And one thing that
but before I let you continue, just for those that don't know, this guy's he is spot on in Virginia. He knows what he's talking about. So
The chat is now saying hi, John.
yeah.
You have
So
fans
point is,
now?
the guy John's referring to, he's a very accurate modeler. He got 2021 spot on within 0.5% or something. He knows what he's talking about. But go on.
Right, yeah, absolutely. So Hines is doing a crystal ball model, and he's been doing it, tracking it day by day by day. And the margins between the GOP and the Dems over this week that started off really wide at about 23 points on the 23rd, and then it narrowed to 19, and then it narrowed to 17, 15. Today it just now bumped back up to 16%. But what he's saying is it's not enough. And here's his like direct words: mail-in ballots are beginning to arrive in large numbers and will continue over the next 10 days. We've reached the point in the cycle where Democrats should be surging, and yet things have barely shifted at all. At this point in time in 2021, Democrats had seen their absent ballotee early vote margin climb by 6.75%. In 23, they gained 2% over the same time frame. So essentially what he's saying, Dems are down 6.5% from where they were 4 days ago. They haven't recovered. And he believes that over the next week, it's probably the most important indicator for the election as a whole. Like for the election as a whole in Virginia, over the next week, if they don't recover, it's really bad. They're pretty much screwed in Virginia if Dems don't recover over the next week.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good point. I'm gonna bring up this tweet because I think some people like they need to see this because this is just I can't believe this
Yeah,
is
here, I'll
happening.
link it.
I got it.
Now, let me see here. Okay, cool.
I think I got it. Yep, that's the right one. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it ticked up slightly, but look at the low propensity voters. Look at this. And this is the biggest indicator to me that Democrats have a big problem because all they're doing is they're just cannibalizing their election day vote. That's all they're doing. From the looks of it, at least. And you look at the low propensity voters, look at 0 to 4 voters. That means these are people that never vote the last 4 elections. Democrats have 764. Republicans have 2,100. Holy shit.
Right. So all of the data looks really great. It's not determinative right now, but as far as we're concerned, it looks like based off of his model, the Dems are performing poorly right now. And yeah, if there's not some sort of magic that happens over the next 10 days, they're going to be in a very bad spot election day.
I mean, shit, even if you just look at the voter registration numbers from the link that I posted, it looks really bad for Democrats in Virginia.
In Virginia? They got voter registration in Virginia? Where?
I made it up.
Jeez.
Real.
Official loser for 2. Hello, Brother John. Jesus Christ is King. Thanks to Super Chat.
Christ is
Think we
king.
got breaking
in our
news.
midst.
Oh, boy.
Going back to foreign policy here.
Back to foreign policy. I was not surprised. Well, kind of am. But yeah, well. Iran is... Reportedly, Iranian air defenses are now on high alert. Gotta love it. Nothing ever happens. All in on nothing ever happens right now. But yeah, so I think with the foreign policy stuff, I don't know. Hopefully this turns into nothing. Hopefully it's nothing ever happens. But why
That's what we all want.
Yeah.
That's what we're all praying for.
Why are they on high alert now? Is something that just happened? Or what?
Or maybe Israel's gonna start bombing. I don't know.
I don't know either. But yeah, so let's get back to Virginia because we gotta wait and see if anything ever happens with the foreign policy stuff. But yeah, with Virginia, it's like, where would Democrats want to be at? Like at the end of the let's just say next week, like next Friday, where should they be at? Because if they're only at 58% right now, what's their baseline or what's their threshold they really got to cross? Does anyone know this?
Well, based off of just what Hines said, it seems as though they need to come up from they're about 16.5% ahead of the GOP right now. They need to be somewhere closer to like 22, 23% over the GOP before the next week's over.
Yeah, I'm looking at the early voting on this day. Yeah, I mean, 2021, it was plus 25. 2022 is 21. Yeah, I mean, it's only 17 right now. So you want to be at the bare minimum 22, if I'm reading this correctly, roughly.
I think you are, yeah.
But it's like if they're struggling here, and we're seeing this in North Carolina and Pennsylvania, how can Harris win if she's doing this bad in Virginia? And I know Virginia has Youngkin and.
So imagine how bad she's going to be doing in New York or New Jersey.
Well, I mean, look at
I'm
we got
not,
early
I'm not
voting.
saying we're winning. I'm not saying we're winning those states, but like, it's similar enough
Yeah, I
to
mean,
spell actual doom.
there's some there's some demographics in both states that they swing heavy towards Trump in Virginia. You just think it doesn't happen in New Jersey or New York? I don't know. Like, it's not gonna be a Trump win, but Tristan for 2. Could Youngkin win the Senate seat in 26? I think there's a
Yeah.
chance.
I think it's very. I think he could either him or Miyares, but honestly, Miyares should run for governor.
Fence Sears. That's what I care about.
Yeah, primary Sears, and then have Youngkin run for Senate.
Oh God, can you imagine
He
Sears
can
as
beat
governor?
Warner. He can beat Warner, especially if Hung Cowell manages to beat Tim Kaine.
Or comes very close.
As long as if Hung Cowell can get it within like 2 points, we could actually win 26.
That's nuts to say. Can you imagine saying that 5 years ago about Virginia? We went from there's no chance in Virginia, it's completely gone, to okay, we won the governorship, but now it's like we could actually flip at the presidential level with Trump. Like, holy shit. But it's like how did the GOP figure it out in Virginia? Like, what does anyone know what happened? Well, obviously Youngkin, but like, there's got to be more to it. That they just one day realized, oh, wait a minute, we can actually win Virginia.
I mean, I'm chummy with the Virginia Young Republicans' former chairwoman, Jesse Blakely. She like there was basically an entire house cleaning operation.
Go on. You cut out.
No, I didn't cut out. I just that's literally it. Like they basically cleaned house entirely.
Well, I do
like
know
they fired basically everybody.
I do know that after, I did hear a little bit about that, but like I didn't know how extensive it was, because I know after it was either 19 or 2020, they fired everyone. But Bungus for 2. See Illinois mail-in data. It's really bad for Dems. Wait, Illinois?
Oh yeah, no, there's
only
there's only 990,000 mail-in requests. There were about 1.8 million at this point in 2020. So
Say
they're
that
down.
again? How many?
They are down by about 800,000 mail-in ballot requests from 2020.
Holy
in
shit!
Illinois.
In Illinois.
Yeah, in Illinois.
Which obviously mail-ins are supposed to go down, but not in half, especially in Illinois of all states. Oh my god. American Nerd for 5. Raph, if Youngkin could run for re-election for Virginia governor 2025, how much you win by? My guess is 5 points at most. He would win by a lot.
They need to remove... Okay, so what Virginia needs to do is they need to change their governor electoral races to either the midterms or presidential year, and they need to make it so that governors can run for 2 terms.
I never understood that. Like, what was the point?
Virginia is special.
Well, I mean...
More foreign policy news. IDF is conducting
Virginia is for lovers, Texas is for haters.
What happened in Israel? What happened?
Oh, IDF is conducting airstrikes in Beirut.
Unsurprising, they just did that a bit ago.
Let's see. Youngkin will win by 8. Yeah, Youngkin, if he ran for re-election, would kill Spanberger. I mean, that would not be close.
Oh, you can't say that word on stream, bro.
Electorally speaking. Chill out. Object Clay's Cater for 5. If November's close or even a win in Virginia, just imagine next year for governor and House of Delegates. Well, Virginia's one of those states. Well, we know historically, the party that wins the White House, they usually crap the bed in the Virginia for the governorship. Usually. But maybe it changes. With Youngkin? Who knows?
The future prospects of the Virginia Commonwealth's GOP look a lot brighter than some of the other states that we've usually been relying on. So I think the general trend is just Virginia's going to go back red. And, well, we'll just hope and pray that Georgia gets a little bit better, because their GOP is kind of messy right now.
Well, I think Brian Kemp's doing a good job there, like, repairing the damage. But, yeah, I think Youngkin, if he can actually turn Virginia back red, or even purple, if he can do that, I like Vance, but you might as well put him the ticket, Youngkin. Either the president or vice president.
Wisconsin Supreme Court says RFK will remain on ballot.
Are you serious? Of course, It's Wisconsin. Thank you. Bungus for
It's
2.
Wisconsin. It's always been Wisconsin. We love Wisconsin, but the courts in Wisconsin very, very corrupt. They're run by horrible people.
Bungus for 2. Illinois is worse than 18 and 22. Registration ends on the 8th. Wait, hold up. It's worse than 22?
Oh, damn.
Can someone fact check that? There's no way it's worse than 22 because 22 is a midterm. If it's actually worse than 22. But I was told, wait a minute, where's this hair surge at? We keep talking about it. Where's it at? If she's doing worse than Illinois, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, where's the surge at? Hell, even Florida is R+2 right now, or D+2 in Miami-Dade, for crying out loud. I don't get it. States like New York and Illinois matter because those being closer probably gives Trump the popular vote. Well, yeah. I just want Trump to win the popular vote so they can't pull any shenanigans. They can't just say, well, actually, he didn't win the popular vote. He won the Electoral College, which is a rigged system. Something
The Democrats have held subverting the Electoral College as a massive wet dream for ages, and I don't want to give them any opportunities.
Yeah, because like I said, if Trump loses the popular vote, watch. Well, I think they're going to do this no matter what. They're going to say he's ineligible to be the president, and they're going to challenge the electors. Because of the 14th Amendment or some bullshit like that. That's what they're going to do. And if Trump wins a popular vote, any chance of legitimacy is thrown out the window of any coup attempt. Let's see. I think Chicago will be the next big city to shift right after Miami, New York City, and Philly. Well, isn't Chicago with a bunch of migrants now? Don't they have, like, a big crisis going on there? Because I know, like, New York City, obviously, but I'm pretty sure Chicago, they had a bunch of, Venezuelan games, I believe, that pulled up. I don't know. Let's see. I think Chicago, read that. Hey, Rap, you can do a video on the 2026 election. We're not thinking that far ahead yet. Let's just get past 24. American Nerd for 5. Rap, if Trump decided to put Youngkin in his cabinet after 2025, what position would he get? I'm thinking Treasury, Commerce, Education.
Make Glenn Youngkin head of the RNC.
I agree with
If,
that.
if Michael Whatley decides to retire. Have Laura Trump run for North Carolina governor in 28. Let Whatley do whatever he wants.
Yeah, Whatley's the real one. I mean, he knows what he's doing. I mean, it's just very odd that the second he takes over, suddenly we win all these lawsuits. Isn't that just funny how that works? It's very ironic, isn't it? We lose all these lawsuits with McDaniels, but the second Whatley takes over, we win all of them. I wonder why. Let's see. Chicago probably swings a few points right, especially with Jill Stein on the ballot. Maybe. Chicago will shift right as Atlanta shifts right. Well, will the suburbs shift right? I don't think so, but I would say Metro Atlanta. Well, downtown Atlanta probably, but 2026 depend on who wins 2024. Well, obviously. All right. Do we have any other breaking news with the Middle East? Does anything ever happen? Do we have anything, anyone?
No, I didn't think we did.
Thank you.
Not that I know of. I think there might maybe there'll be an escalation. I don't know.
All right.
The only thing that I notice is that the rhetoric from Murdoch and Fox News just keeps getting hotter and hotter, and they're just making their intentions really obvious. And I do not want war. I don't think any of us should want war. And
that's what I'm scared about.
Yeah. We just have to do everything we can to push that. The Republican Party is the anti-war party now. Because
breaking news.
As you say, what happened?
Oh, nothing. Just Trafalgar polls are coming out later.
Oh, okay. I thought you like the second he said that, like, oh yeah, we have Iran bombed someone or something. Okay, yeah. It's one of those things where Trump has to win this because we cannot afford to have. Can you imagine Harris negotiating with freaking Putin or whatever?
So we're getting Trafalgar polls from all the big 7.
Really?
Oh, the swing states in Virginia?
No, Virginia. It's the main 7.
Okay.
So, wait, what's the 7th? New Hampshire?
North Carolina.
Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina.
Yep. Let's see. Bungus for 2018, 1.4 million. 2022, 1.6 million. 2020, 3.6 million. Now, 990,000. Holy shit, it's worse than 2018 and 22. Oh my gosh. That's bad. How can anyone look at that and say, this is actually good for Harris? I don't see how you can. That's
by being completely disingenuous.
Well, speaking of being disingenuous, before I forget, we got to talk about what happened with Alan Lichtman today. Listen,
No.
I'm not a big fan of Nate Silver, but what he did to this clown was gold. For those that don't know, hold on, let me pull up the tweet. Yeah. So Nate Silver, he went after Alan Lichtman hard today. It was glorious. And let me pull this up. Mr. Nugget for 5. Do you think it's possible for Republicans to flip the New York in 2026 gubernatorial race if they picked a good candidate? Maybe. If the corruption scandal's that bad. Maybe. But yeah, Nate Silver, he, this is what he said today. Alright, for those that don't know, this is what Nate Silver said. The funny thing is, if you actually applied his keys correctly, based on how he's applied them in the past, they predict a Trump victory. More about this soon, lol. And he's right. For those that don't know, Alan Lichtman's the guy with the 13 keys. What did he say? Didn't he say, like, the war in Ukraine was a foreign policy success?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Biden stopped Putin from invading Poland or something.
Oh my god. So you're telling me that's a success, but the Abraham Accords in 2020 were not success. We're not successful, I should say.
Which, by the way, had Lichtman considered that a success, he would have predicted Trump winning in 2020, despite the economy.
Unfreaking believable. American Nerd for 5. You have to say, what do you think the turnout of this election will be, and give us Senate, Governor, and House estimated result and presidential map up. That we'll do that soon. Not right now, but I think turnouts will be slightly lower than 2020. I would say that. I still think both candidates get above 70 million votes.
Yeah, basically higher than 2016, lower than 2020.
Yeah. Medium. Yeah, so both candidates crack 70 million, unless it's that bad for Harris. But yeah, either way,
I think you might see like a very small dip in our turnout just because of some demoralization, but for the most part, it should stay somewhat stable. Dem turnout will probably go down just because you don't have as many mail-in voting. You probably don't, or I guess black turnout in general, that's going to go down.
But yeah, so Alan Lichtman, this is how he responded to Nate Silver. Nate, you don't have the faintest idea about how to apply my keys. You are neither a historian or a political scientist or have any academic credentials of any kind.
Yeah, the moment you use the word academic credibility, your credibility immediately plummets.
Remember, you were wrong when you said the keys could early predict Obama's reelection. What the hell is he talking about? That's what he said here. A sentence prior, he was saying, you can't say anything because you don't have academic credentials. Yet he says, remember, you were wrong when you said the keys could early predict Obama's reelection. This freaking guy. Unbelievable. I'm glad that Nate Silver called him out for it. I don't like Silver, but he's right. If you applied the 13 keys in an unbiased fashion, it would show a Trump win. For crying out loud, they claimed that the keys were claiming that Biden had a better chance of winning than Harris. Think about that. That's what his keys were claiming.
That's literally only because of the incumbency key and
what a pile of crap. Like,
but I think really, they basically just swapped the incumbency key into first. Actually, no, wait. Alan Lichtman always had the third party key false.
Yeah. No, remember, even when RFK was getting 10% of the vote, it actually hurts Trump. This guy's so full of it, and that's not false, but the way he does the third party key, it doesn't matter. But he was purposely changing his model, and it's a shit show.
My favorite thing about that Mr. Beat live stream that he was on, Alan Lichtman was on, was the part where he said, oh, well, RFK only mattered when there were 2 old men on the ballot. Now that there's a strong black woman for everyone to vote for, nobody's gonna care.
What?
Honestly, as far as like Democratic enthusiasm, I guess there's some truth to that, but even then,
that's such a call.
It's overblown.
But yeah, so hold on. I'm gonna look up more of what Alan Lichtman said, because this guy, remember what he said a couple months ago? If Biden dropped out of the race, Kamala Harris would be, or the Democrat Party would be dead on arrival. Remember that?
And then he said, well, I think it's also because of the primary and all that stuff.
Which, by the way, how is that not a primary key? Like, you're telling me that's not a challenge that they threw out the president at the third hour?
Because Harris got almost all the delegates.
That's bullshit. Humphrey, or no, who's the guy in 68? Was it Humphrey?
It was Humphrey.
Yeah, he got 80% of the delegates then, but he had the key false because of party unity, because it was like there was a bunch of riots and shit. That's what he said. So it's like,
I think he's using that for this because there were no riots in Chicago.
But this is such an extreme example where the president's thrown out at the 11th hour.
Democrats wanted him out.
Gosh. American Nerd for 5. Rap, have you seen that Tucker Carlson interview with the guy that claimed that Winston Churchill is the villain of World War II? I wanted to bang my head in. Yeah, we're not talking. All right. This is what Alan Lichtman is saying. Nate Silver claims to have applied my keys to predict a Trump victory. He does have the faintest idea how to turn the keys. He's not a historian or a political scientist. He has no academic credentials. He was wrong when he said I could not make an early prediction of Obama's re-election. He'll be wrong again in trying to analyze the keys. What? What do you mean you have to have academic credentials to say that, yeah, the economy sucks?
By the way, this is the guy whose son says that Harris is going to win Florida.
What?
Wait, Lichtman said Harris is going to win Florida?
Yeah.
No, but my favorite part of this drama is Nate's quote tweet of that very tweet you just read. I've spent way too much time on this and have a lot of receipts from how you've applied your keys in the past. At least 7 of the keys, maybe 8, clearly favor Trump. Sorry, brother, but that's what the keys say, unless you're admitting they're totally arbitrary.
Well, because he's not wrong. Like, when you read into this, it's on the wiki page. You can read what he said in 1992 with the economy.
I'm the most accurate forecaster of all time.
Well, here's the thing. Let's be honest. Since 1984, that's when he started predicting elections. Which of them were actually hard to predict?
2000.
Yeah, 2000, 2016 even. Probably 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020, I'm guessing. I mean...
You can argue maybe 2004 is a little bit iffy, but...
Actually, I mean, 2016, he kind of... I would say he did have balls for saying that Trump would win when pretty much every other...
Go back what he said. He
had Trump winning the popular vote, but even then,
he hedged his bets, but
even then, I mean, pretty much everyone else had Clinton winning both popular votes and the Electoral College, so...
All right, Hudson Dean for 5. I know this sounds crazy, but if Kamala won, would she deport GOP voters to Europe and replace them with migrants? I don't know, but I don't know.
I mean, she'd probably want to, but she knows she can't. So she'll just do amnesty.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he did come out in favor of.
Congress to subpoena Alan Lichtman for an election interference.
Are we talking about the Fox polls that just dropped today?
Yeah, it's tied in Pennsylvania. Or Trump won.
Yeah, Trump +1 in Pennsylvania, Trump +2 in North Carolina.
If Fox News is showing that, yikes for Harris.
My speculation is that I think a lot of these polls that are showing them tied, like Emerson having 6 out of 7 polls tied. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
but I think they're both hedging their bets. I also think they're suppressing like Trump leads because they feel like they'll get blowback from people in the Democrats. You're trying to suppress the Democrat vote by putting out positive Trump polls or something like that. I feel like they're trying to like walk a thin line.
Yeah, and I like Emerson with the crap they're pulling this cycle. I don't get what they're doing. I have no clue what they're trying to accomplish. Like, remember a couple weeks ago, they completely changed their methodology 2 months ago, and now they're magically showing Trump's tied in every state? Not just a couple of them, every state's a tie. Really? How likely is that? That all 7 swing states except 1 is a tie?
It's just it's like what I told you earlier, John. We need polling malpractice laws.
Well, how do you enforce that, though? It is, like, I don't think it's malpractice. Some pollsters, Bloomberg, obviously, that's horseshit what they're doing, but for those that don't know, Bloomberg's been doing this entire cycle. You could go back and look this up. When Biden had his State of the Union, I'm not even kidding when this happened, the second the State of the Union ended, they released a swing state poll, and it says, Joe Biden surges post State of the Union. Well, take a guess. Those interviews were conducted a week prior, and they try to spin it as the State of the Union surged his numbers. No, it didn't. So they did this like 10 times now. Every time there's some bad news for Biden, out of the blue, it's always Bloomberg that has these ridiculous Harris leads, or Biden leads back then. American Nerd for 5. A voter concerned about the Middle East crisis to Harris. How will you stop this from escalating? Harris, so I grew up in a middle-class family. Well, that's a response to everything. But yeah, Tyrone, how would you enforce a malpractice law like that?
That's a really fucking good idea.
How would you enforce
not good idea point. That's a really good point. I have no idea. It was something I literally just mentioned on the offhand.
I would say, like, if it's fraud, that's one thing. Because if you're just making shit up, that's the way you could do it. If you're, like, you're purposely, like, faking numbers, that would be fraud. Because you're trying to push a narrative that's bullshit.
There's not an easy way to prove it without fully auditing the pollster, but I want to take words from one of the people that they brought when they were doing the assassination hearings. He said, and he was talking about the Secret Service, but I think it applies here. At some point, incompetence becomes intentional, and when it becomes intentional, it becomes malpractice. And I think you just need to structure that as a legal argument where you can show there is such a mass amount of incompetence for such a long period of time that it is now intentional. You can, you try to prove it legally that way.
Yeah, that's like, I still think that would be a bad idea, because then, like, let's be honest, Rasmussen, Big Data, Trafalgar, they would all be banned. Well, because some asshole, like, would abuse the law like that, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you gotta do something, because you can't keep letting Bloomberg and ABC News do the same shit they do every year. They've done this every year. Bloomberg alone, the cycle has done it 10 times. Anytime there's a bad poll for Harris, they magically drop their poll out of left field. Harris up by 10 or whatever. What a pile of crap. Just banning Bloomberg and Morning Compost. Well, yeah, they're the same pollster. No one talks about that either. They make it sound like it's different pollsters. It's all the same. They just shit out their polls in 500 different organizations and call it a day.
Probably also talk about the VP debate rules that were released.
Yeah, how is it much different? Or no?
Actually, quite a difference. Mics will not be muted.
Really?
They will not be muted unless CBS moderators find it necessary.
Oh, God.
So there will be some interrupting.
I think Vance Vance is a great debater. He's smart enough not to fall for
Which, by the way...
No, Vance is a master debater.
Which, by the way...
Shut the fuck
up. Real.
Well, look at the couch.
Oh,
anyway, just stop.
Which, by the way, since Harris wasn't able to get her on speaking moments, he might be trying to pass it on down to Walls.
Oh God, Walls! People gotta look up Walls' highlights for
debating. Since the mics will not be muted, Tim Walz is going to have the on-speaking moment instead of Kamala Harris.
Walls is going to shit the bed, I think.
He's just going to come off as a sassy gay old man, and it's going to fucking flop hard.
He's just going to talk. He's going to bring a, coach like.
Oh, I hope Vance just says, "Hey, wait, what type of coach were you?"
Coach. A football coach.
No, Vance is screw what Tyrone's about to say. Vance is a good debater. Shut up, Tyrone. Shut up.
No, he is an accomplished debater.
Anyways,
I would advise anybody who doesn't believe it, go and look at the Senate the Senate debates. They were wonderful with
Oh yeah, no, he totally fucking creamed Tim Ryan, and I don't mean that as a funny joke. That's literally he just completely fucking smashed him.
Blowout. And then
he creamed him. It was a blowout.
And then you look at and Walls is a shitty debater. He lost to Scott Jensen, for crying out loud. How do you lose to that?
I mean, Democrats will still claim that he destroyed Vance.
Oh, I know, but like the average voter.
And he, by the way, I fully expect him to bring up the couch.
You
He's
know,
going to bring up
Vance
the couch.
has-
Vance
Vance
better bring
has
the
the
horse
last-
then. Bring up the freaking
But-
horse.
Hold up. We know who's going to get the last word.
Vance, yeah, I heard about that.
It's Vance.
Yes.
Both Trump and Vance have gotten the last word.
You know what's probably going to happen if they're doing live fact checking, and Walls brings up the couch, and in Vance they'll fact check Vance for bringing up the horse stuff, but they won't fact check Walls for bringing up the.
No, they'll say that's real. They'll confirm it.
I think they won't say anything when Walls brings up the couch,
Well, I
but then
don't-
when Vance brings up the horse, so
Is CBS better than ABC though?
I don't know, but I don't trust them very
I don't trust if they're. I think they're slightly better than ABC, so they might not be as bad. But
Yeah, but if they're doing live fact checking, then yeah, we'll probably know who's going to end up winning, or we'll.
American Nerd for 10. VP debate rules. Both candidates will stand behind a podium. There'll be live mics for the debate. There'll be no live audience. Senator J.D. Vance won the coin toss to have the last word. Yeah, I don't get why you want the last word. I still don't get why Biden declined the last word. I still don't get what he's trying to do, or he was doing.
They were afraid he would ramble and trail off.
Maybe. That would be funny to watch, though. Vance should watch the Biden VP debate from 2012 and learn from Biden's style. Well, no, Vance is actually a good debater. He is. So.
All right, moderators are going to be Nora O'Donnell and Margaret Brennan.
Is that good? Is that bad? Are those like Joy
I
Reid
don't-
types?
I'm not that familiar with them. I would imagine they're liberals, but I don't know how much they are. So
Because there's a difference between being like a Joy Reid type and who's like an actually fair moderator. Surprised, I guess, like Jack Tapper.
Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, maybe.
Blitzer. I like Blitzer. He's all right.
Magic Show.
Blitzer's honestly as honest of a journalist you could get.
Yeah, especially
Like in terms of
CNN.
actual fairness. Yeah, like say what you want about CNN. CNN is quote unquote moderate, so actually moderate people are gonna watch, so CNN's gonna be more incentivized to be more biased. Only total fucking libshits watch MSNBC or ABC.
Yeah. Magic Show for $3.50. Can I confirm that Tyrone likes? Oh God, no, he doesn't.
I can confirm he has relationships with women.
I catch anyways later on. So
Oh my gosh.
I go to D&D now.
Just D&D.
By the way, Tyrone, when's your last day before you go to training?
Not next Monday, but the Monday after. So my next stream will probably be next Friday or Saturday, whenever Rap decides to have it.
Probably next Friday will be it then.
That'll be my last stream, and then you guys won't hear from me until early January.
That's gonna suck.
Well, at least you'll make more money.
I mean, yeah, I'm getting that money.
All right.
I'm talking Rap as well. So.
But yeah, so I think we're gonna end the stream here, guys. Let's see. Before I forget, we follow Real Texan on Twitter at Real. What is it again?
At Real TX Politics.
Tyrone, what's your schizophrenic name again?
Something Unatco. UNATC.
Okay, you know what? Well, I think we called the stream tonight, folks. Hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll see you guys in the next stream, video, wherever you see me in. Gosh, what did this stream de-evolve